As an aerospace engineer develops and gains more experience, the engineer requires a license to make any change in propulsion or the spacecraft. Licensed aerospace engineers are called DASH.
Well done. Professional engineers is the right choice.
Which of the following would you probably enjoy if you plan to enter a career in aerospace?
Correct response. Solving problems and puzzles is the most accurate answer. Which of the following is true about aviation safety inspector working conditions? All correct. They have a considerable amount of travel is the right answer. What is the name for an aerospace engineer who works specifically with spacecraft? Valid point. Astronautical engineer is true. Engine, also known as a jet engine, that pulls air into the front of the engine, increases the pressure of the air, and forces it out the back of the engine at great speed. Clear logic. Your choice gas turbine engine is sound and 100% true. What type of background do many of the people who work in aerospace have? Right again. Electrical engineering is a valid answer. How does engineering compare to other professions in the United States? You got it? Your choice engineering is the second largest profession is right.
What state has the highest salary for an aerospace engineer?
Strong choice. Colorado is the right answer. What are programs in aerospace engineering credited by?
Excellent choice. ABET is the right answer.
To become an aerospace engineer, what degree do you need? Great job. Bachelor's degree is the accurate answer.
Design, building, analysis, and troubleshooting of components in aircraft, spacecraft, missiles, and high-altitude vehicles.
Sharp thinking. Aerospace engineering is the right choice. A vertical airfoil pivoted from the horizontal stabilizer of an aircraft for controlling movement around the vertical axis.
Right choice. Rudder is the best answer.
Control surface located on the rear of the vertical stabilizer, used to control side-to-side movement of the nose.
Bravo! Rudder is the answer. Imagine you're a top-notch aerospace engineer working on a military project. What would be your main focus areas? Well-reasoned. Maintaining the quality and safety of the brave pilots is the correct choice.
Involves astrodynamics, which is the study of mechanics and the scientific way of predicting orbital elements.
You chose aerospace engineering, and it is correct.
The force that attracts a body toward the center of the Earth or toward any other physical body having mass.
Good job. Your answer, gravity, works well here.
Someone who uses what he or she knows about science, math, and their creativity to design objects that fly.
Good thinking. Aerospace engineer is the right answer. Which aerospace concept involves using the Earth's atmosphere to slow down a spacecraft during re-entry? On track. Aero capture is the correct answer. Rotating blades that force air toward the rear of an aircraft, causing the aircraft to move forward. Perfect. Propeller is the correct choice.
Which material is commonly used in aerospace structures due to its high strength-to-weight ratio?
Smart pick. Carbon fiber is the correct choice.
Hey, future astronaut! Do you know what kind of cool stuff aerospace engineers get to design? Nice selection. amazing aircraft, out-of-this-world spacecraft, high-tech satellites, and powerful missiles is the correct and valid answer.
The primary field of engineering concerned with the development of aircraft and spacecraft.
Solid response. Aerospace engineering is a valid choice. Force that directly opposes the weight of an airplane and holds the airplane in the air. Well picked. Lift is the correct answer.
Which of the following disasters are aerospace engineers responsible for?
Great thinking. The Challenger exploding is the right choice.
What is not mentioned as one of the things that aerospace engineers have to cover?
Nice work. You chose history and it is correct.
Aerodynamic force, created by the friction of moving air that opposes propulsion.
Smart move. Drag is an accurate answer. Which of the following is not a fundamental principle of aerospace engineering? You're right. Genetics is the correct answer. Anything, system or process that people create and use to solve a problem. Nicely done. Technology is a solid answer.
What is attitude, determination, and control in astronautical engineering?
Excellent. Controlling the orientation of the spacecraft is a brilliant choice.
What is sometimes considered an aerospace engineer's greatest challenge?
Exactly. Making spacecrafts or other space materials suitable for humans makes sense, and it is right choice. The steps that engineers use to design something to solve a problem. Excellent. Engineering design process is a brilliant choice. Which of the following machines would an aerospace engineer design? Sharp thinking. Jet engine is the right choice.
What does aerospace engineering incorporate according to the video?
Solid response. Dozen of elements is a valid choice. What is the outlook for an aerospace engineer in the next 8 years? Well picked. Plus 6% is the correct answer.
What is the importance of aerospace engineering in modern society?
Nicely done. It enables exploration of outer space is a solid answer. Study of manned and unmanned craft outside the Earth's atmosphere. Smart move. Astronautics is an accurate answer. What is the role of communications in astronautical engineering? Strong choice. Providing wireless communication is the right answer. What is the role of structural design in aerospace engineering? On track. Designing the structure of the spacecraft is the correct answer. What minimal degree do you need to become an aerospace engineer? Correct. Bachelor's is the right answer. What is the most popular school to study aerospace engineering? Great thinking. Caltech is the right choice. Where is not a place you can work at for an aerospace engineer? Good thinking. Cashier McDonald's is the right answer. What is guidance and navigation in astronautical engineering? Nice selection. Designing the orbit of the spacecraft is the correct and valid answer. Angle of the chord line of the wing relative to the airflow. You got it? Your choice angle of attack is right. Which is not a leading institute for aerospace engineering? Right again. Duke is a valid answer. the field that is dedicated to building machines that fly?
Nice work. You chose Aerospace Engineering, and it is correct.
Which is a needed degree to become an aerospace engineer.
You're right. Masters is the correct answer.
What are the two main branches of aerospace engineering?
You chose mechanical and electrical, and it is correct.
The first step in the engineering design process is dash.
Bravo. Ask is the answer.
When did aerospace engineering first appear in America?
Excellent choice. 1950 is the right answer.
What are the two subdivisions of aerospace engineering?
Clear logic. Your choice aeronautical and astronautical engineering is sound and 100% true.
Which is not a leading company in aerospace engineering?
Valid point. Party plane engineering is true.
What type of engineer are we learning about this week?
Smart pick. Mechanical engineer is the correct choice.
What does AR stand for? American Institute of Dash. Perfect. Aeronautics and astronautics is the correct choice.
What is the primary goal of aerospace engineering?
Well reasoned. To design and build spacecraft and aircraft is the correct choice.
Aerospace engineering yearly salary is about dash.
Well done. 119,220 is the right choice.
What is the main focus of an aerospace engineer?
Right choice. Designing and manufacturing aircraft, spacecraft, satellites, and missiles is the best answer.
When did aerospace engineering become a thing?
Good job. Your answer 1958 works well here. What is not a skill of an aerospace engineer?
Correct response. Service orientation is the most accurate answer.
Why did I choose aerospace engineering?
Exactly. My step siblings are both aerospace engineers makes sense, and it is right choice.
What does the acronym of stand for?
Great job. Unmanned aerial vehicle is the accurate answer.
Aerospace engineering involves dash.
Perfect. Science, mathematics, physics is the correct choice.
What is aerospace engineering?
Excellent choice. The design and construction of aircraft and spacecraft is the right answer.
What does LED stand for?
Exactly. Light emitting diode makes sense, and it is right choice.
How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format?
Great thinking. Contact Naran Changda is the right choice.